Good morning, everyone. We'll begin in 2 more minutes. ಏನ್ ಬಡ್ಡದನ ಶೇರ್ ಆಯ್ತು ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಬರಬೇಕು. Good morning, everyone, and good day to everyone. Like most of us joined from different time zones, as I can see, and thank you for that, and thank you for your curiosity and your learning interest in this particular part of the area, which also help us in solving our most of our challenges in our medical physicist. Okay, and today's topic is like utilization of QA track plus in our radiotherapy. It will going to be presented by Dr. Prabakar Sukumar, is a principal clinical scientist at Oxford University Hospitals in NHS, Oxford in UK. And Dr. Prabakar sir has initially worked from 2016 to 14 at Cancer Institute, Adayar, and from there he joined UK around at 2014, and he played a key roles in several areas, like worked as in different projects also he have carried out key roles in planning and dosimetry, and then he implemented several important scripts in in his hospital, and now he is working as a lead principal medical physicist in Saber Technique, and is still it's doing a little bit of scripts in implementing a scripts in MATLAB and as well as Python. And with his vast experience, he's going to share the most important topic of today. And sir, Prabhakar sir, you can share your screen and take over the sessions.
Thank you, Dinesh. That's a wonderful and kind introduction. I hope you can see me and hear me clearly.
Yes, sir. Your screen is also visible. You're audible.
Thank you very much. Uh, let's go from here. Uh, Thank you, Dinesh. That's a wonderful effort from your side, creating this group and organizing people for having a new era of computing and AI. Have seen wonderful topics before in this series, and it's quite inspiring for the younger generations. And thank you for inviting me. Today, I'm going to share what how QA Track Plus is being used in Oxford University hospitals. We've been implementing QA Track Plus. I don't say we have implemented completely. We are in the process, still in the process. We have done some of the things, but we are still in the process of implementation whole QA Track Plus in the whole sites. Uh, I will share my experiences and how we implemented some of these scripts. Before going into that, short disclaimer, uh, this open software and everything needs to be uh, taken into the local QA policies, regulatory updates, and it depends upon the local uh, rules and regulations. Going back to where we are, nearly the whole world, nearly 60 to 70 QA Track Plus users. Uh, and then where we are, it's in a small part, it's in the center of England. That we have implemented some of the things. We have so many centers within UK who are using QA Track Plus, and we share the knowledge between ourselves and then implement new techniques along with it. Okay, coming back, how we did previously 6 years back, we have separate Excel files for logging those devices for dailies and profilers, flatness, and symmetry. We have a separate Excel sheet, and we will be logging everything. And we, for tracking everything, we need to have a separate Excel sheets, and you can't able to interlink. You have to spend more time in interlinking the data from different softwares. Like when QA3 needs to be compared with the outputs, or profiler needs to be compared against the water tank measurements, we have to spend a lot of time converting the profiler measurements into the Excel sheets, and then converting into a CSV format, and then comparing against with the tank measurements, which are in the different format, and then needs to be converted into a CSV, and then put it into Excel sheets, and then putting into your profile. Uh, Before going into the QA Track Plus, I want to just begin with a short slides, few slides with the data management. What is data management? What we need, what we are expecting from the data management, how we are expecting data management. It reminds me a film in 2 decades ago, a show, a comedian showing a diary. Information is the wealth. Now we know that how we are doing in all our apps and everything, we are accepting the cookies. Cookies is that they are getting the information from you and using the data to analyze and use it for the machine learning, and then use it in the AI. Similarly, in our department, we have to utilize our data properly to maintain, to get the more informations and trends, and how we are proactively do some machine learnings, and then correct it before the clock major breakdown of the missions, and you can learn what it is happening with the missions. So how we need our data, we need our data very fast, and then not to spend too much on time when comparing or importing things. And it should be always available for you, and it should be measurable, you can able to compare with this one. And it should be secure and can be distributed safely within the department, or safely across the departments. What we need from the database management, it is a database management that it has to use the applications, and it has to get the information from different folders, and you have to utilize it, and then it has to send it to the users that you are using in the using the apps, and it should show the data and record it. And if you need any particular data, you need to be able to query it, and in a safe environment. So this is a picture of how we need a database system. What are the important things of database? Manage a large amount of data, because we have outputs, flatness, cat fan images, picket fence, MLC informations, and all the replacement of the parts. It's a large amount of data for a single machine. And if you have multiple machines, that is another big amount. And if you have multiple sites, then it is quite big amount of data. And we need these operations to be streamlined and to improve our efficiency. And these data needs to be analyzed within the database itself if it is useful, and it should be secured and data protected. And it needs to be shared in a secured way to do a data collaboration. Like Electa has come up with Prono applications, where they are collecting the plannings and different radiotherapy different radiotherapy informations and putting into a secure way and sharing with different people and collaborating it. And you need to have a centralized location. For example, we Oxford University has hospitals have 3 different sites, so we need to use it as a centralized location. So we use our web interface.
Oh, sir, your mic is muted. Can you please unmute it, please?
Sorry, I didn't realize that. Sorry.
Yeah, yeah.
Have we missed anything
From the last slide,
from
sir.
listening? Yeah, sorry. Somebody has muted it. Sorry. We need a large amount of database management, has a large amount of data, manage and streamline the operations and improve efficiencies. And we need to be having a database that needs to be analyzed and make sense of the data. And it should be in a secure way. Uh, and it should be shared within the department or shared between the multiple sites. And for doing a collaborations, it needs to be done uh, in a safe and secure environment. And it should be done in a centralized location. For example, in our department, we are three triple site department where 2 of the missions are off-site. So we have installed the database system in a centralized way, and then we are sharing the centralized database with web interface to input or utilize the information to the multiple sites. And the structured database storage system help us to analyze the different mission parameters within the what we enter, and it should be integrated and interoperability, like it can be utilized from different sites as well. You may think why he is talking about database when we are talking about the QA Track Plus. Is it a QA Track Plus is a database system? Yes. QA Track Plus is a database system where particularly for the radiotherapy networks or radiotherapy medical physics, where you can able to perform you can set up a QA test that can be performed, scheduled, recorded, and you can able to use your tolerance limits, set your tolerance limits, and you can able to analyze it statistically. So basically, QA Track Plus is a open web-based applications for managing the radiotherapy missions and diagnostic imaging missions. This was initially done by Randon Taylor, and it started from Canada, and it is now all over the world. Uh, it also integrates it also integrates the image analysis softwares and records the results and use it as the trends for future purposes. What what we are going to do, what we do in Oxford University Hospitals, it is a centralized web-based database. So we have created multiple tests based on the QA Track Plus for multiple machines in radiotherapy. This is we have particularly installed commissioned in within the radiotherapy department. So it is the test that has really interlinked with the radiotherapy missions, and we have set our tolerances and action level flagging, so it can be able to send to the different email persons, medical physics experts, to log the files. And this is we are using for the audit purposes as well, and digital signature, like reviewing and approving the QA test, whether they can able to treat based on the numbers or action limits. And we are using a multiple site dashboards to initialize what QA needs to be scheduled or what QA needs to be pending that needs to be in the site. And we are controlling it with the GitHub version control. And it is not a single person's involvement. It is a multiple people working in this QA Track Plus within the department. So, and it has a built-in charts, and you can able to export a database or paper-based database from this one, and you can create forms based on that one, and you can fill it and you can put it back into the QA Track Plus, and we can use it in a switch it in a different modes. Now what we are doing, all the informations from Excel sheets has been put in into a QA Track Plus. This is the same slide which we saw. We utilized Excel sheets in different formats. Now in the department, after a major effort from the whole department and the head of the QA, uh, it has been interlinked into a QA Track Plus. Setting up the QA Track Plus, it took ages on setting up. This is planning, designing, and everything. This is a screenshot of what we are using. You can see multiple sites of 3 sites, Milton Keynes, Oxford, and Swindon. And we have different mission setups in different areas, and we have several chambers, and we have the HDR machines as well in this slide. How we set up. Computational physics is the major role in installing and commissioning the QA Track Plus. Sorry, somebody messaged me, screen is not visible. Is that okay?
It is visible here, sir. Visible to
Okay.
most of us. That might be a internet speed issue.
Visible, sir. Thank you. It is visible. Thank you.
Thank you for reminding. So this is the home screen of what we use. We have to choose the performance. You have to set whatever you have in your department, either Linac, what type of model. It can be used as a vendor-based model, or you can choose your vendors. QTrack Plus, while installing itself, it is providing a vast number of vendors and vast number of missions that it can able to use it on the QA Track Plus. And while setting up, you can choose your models, and depending upon your models, you can able to choose your tolerances. You can able to perform the test. So what we need, installing, planning. Some of the tests that we need to, while installing and commissioning the QA Track Plus, what we need to do is what we are going to install, what type of machines that we are going to install, what type of equipments that we are going into the QA Track Plus. For that, a good planning and a concept training, design how we were going to implement, and then you have to do a testing, manual testing. What we did is that we created a test Linac. Always we will try a new thing on the test Linac before releasing it clinically, or before we releasing it for the routine use. We tested every scripts or every method or every test list into the test Linac, and then go copy that, assign that test list to the different Linacs for the university, and then get the feedback from the trainers, and then implement any improvements from there, and then we will go for the operations at the end. So there is a different process. You have to go through these process for implementing each test, and then come back with the improvement. And always you should have a space for improvement in the future designs and by upgrading or versions. So QTrack Plus, first of all, how we started, we defined the units of the each missions or each equipment, and create a test list for that one. So for example, output is the basic thing that we need to add. So that we do perform every day and now and then. So we need to choose a test list, what we need to be adding, like temperature, pressure, and it can able to do the perform manual calculations like Excel sheets, and then assign the frequency. Are we doing it daily, weekly, or monthly? Whatever, we can assign the frequencies, and we can set our tolerances. Basically, from 2% local tolerances, you can use the local tolerances and assign the users who need to perform this test, and then what are the levels of degrees. And the head of the department of that the QA will be overseeing these numbers and reviewing the results and assigning the persons, and giving the permissions. So engineers have a different level of permissions, and dosimetrist has a different level of permissions, and physicist has a different level of permissions, and then the MPEs or experts will be having a different level who can able to amend the changes that can be utilized in the QA track plus. So how we started in OUH, we started with the daily checks. You can see it is just operand yes or no questions. So like whether the CCTV is working, warning lights it's working, yes or no, just basically from a basic test. This is how we started to learn things around in the department. Uh, this is a very, very simple test. You create a test like CCTV, and then you can change it into operand yes or no questions. Uh, and then you can utilize that to start with. This is how we started our checks. And then now we are in this is a monthly checks, list of monthly checks. You can see a major list it is going on. You can see how we are now utilizing the QA track plus in our department with list of monthly tests, just a monthly test. There is a ad hoc test and then periodic tests. There are so many tests that are behind the scenes as well. So you can see most of the EPIC panel tests are the bottoms, and we are using the monthly checks, outputs, and MPCs, QA3s, and even ISO verifications that we are using currently in the department for each missions. And coming back to the outputs, so we created a test, different, each one is a different test. You have to choose your unit and what type of unit it is, whether the true beam or halcyon, whatever energy and whatever your energy you are choosing. You have to enter the energy, and then you have to enter the QA date that you are performing. It is each test. Each one is a test, and the whole collective test list. So you are creating a test list by adding a test to each one, and then you can assign the test list to different machines. You don't want to create a different test list for different machines. You are creating a one test list and then assigning it to a different machine. So it is not replicating. You are creating a new mission, you will be doing a new test list, and you are creating, it is just one test list. You can just assign it to the different missions. That is really helpful, that you're not copying and redoing the things. So here you can see it is basically three readings. So basically three readings we are measuring, and then we are getting the output at the end. You can see what we have done for last few months, and you can see different energies, and you can see the output, and you can set the tolerances. The reference comment here in this column, reference comment column, you can see the tolerances has been set in. You can choose within the, it should be ideally one, and you can set the tolerances how much you want to go with, depending upon the local protocols and policies. And you can use the trends chart as well. So output, basically we will be using as a chamber measurements, but nowadays we are using the MPC as a part of the daily QA, particularly in variant missions, and we are using the QA3 as a backup data. If the MPC fails, what is the backup data? So QA3 is our basically backup data. You can see how well both are trend. You can see the chart that has been produced on the upper thing. Okay. You can see the trend that is showing in the MPCs follows the trend that is in the QA3 track plus. So this is the screenshot of the trends that we generated for a few months, from a month for a month, as shown here from April to May. And you can see the trend that is followed in Q3 and MPCs are similar. And then you can able to believe your MPCs based on what you are seeing, rather than believing the numbers, and rather than visually you can able to represent what you are doing. And this is compared against the chamber measurements, which we do monthly, rather than weekly chamber measurements we will be transferring, so you will get confidence on what you are measuring with MPCs and QA3. We cross compare against the output measurements, and then in QA Track Plus, we can able to compare different machines, how it is performing. This is a screenshot of 3 different true beams. You can see, as mentioned here, of a QA3 device. Uh, you can see of a single energy. I'm comparing 3 different machines. On some days, you can see because of the pressure changes, you can see the trend, how it is following between the 3 machines. Ideally, for comparing in previous good olden days, we will be comparing the missions by comparing the numbers, what it is happening, what is that happening, because it is a we created a 2 separate databases for each missions, and we were be following the each one's data separately. But we haven't compared different missions, which we need a special effort. Now, with the help of the QA Track Plus, with effortlessly with a single flick button, you can able to generate a comparison between the 3 different missions results in a single slide, or within seconds, you can able to generate and see what it is happening, whether this mission is outperforming or this mission is only has this problem. You can particularly locate the problems specifically to the missions or to the particular parts based on your trends and maps. Coming next to it, symmetry and flatness that we are using. It is a simple chart that it shows the just symmetry alone on the cross line and inline for a 6 MV true beam. You can see have taken 2 similar missions, uh, two, 2 similar true beams on trended for different months. As it is a part of a monthly checks, we compare against different missions and what it is happening, because we have commissioned it to be matched missions, and then you can able to use it for comparing different things. And coming back to image analysis, so this is one of the first little bit script has started with, and now it has been modified by different people, and it has been developed so well. So this is one of the tests that we do ensure that our ISO center is perfectly matched with the whatever end-to-end kind of a testings. These are the images that we use. So what we do is we will put a ball bearing on the center of the ISO center, and then we image it at the different combinations of collimator, couch, and gantry angles, and we expose that at 6 different combinations, and then we deliver that in the integrated images portal dosimetry, and we use it that way and analyze it. So on QA Track Plus, what we do is we will just enter the date. All these are delivered in a machine QA files. So Varian has a different way. It saves the images in a particular folder. When you direct that folder to the QA Track Plus, it imports the images on a particular date. The scripts can be assigned saying that you go for this particular date, and you particular time exposed images, and then you analyze those images in the particular format. So this is a screenshot how when we enter the dates, it goes into that beam, because you have already chosen the units, and then you choose the particular date, and it all picks up those images and analyzes the Python script backend, and then gives the whatever results you want to record it. It doesn't export all the numbers. You can on the left hand side, you can see all the numbers that are saved in the Excel sheet. The script runs and saves as an Excel sheet, but you can just import what you want to track it, because we have set it as a 2 maximum worst offset of those things, and then implemented into the QA Track Plus, imported into the QA Track Plus, and then you can use that mean things as a QA Track Plus. What we have done is worst ID, whatever the worst out of all those combinations, into the QA Track Plus, and what are the mean deviations that are getting to track on the QA Track Plus. But all the data are saved in the backend of the as a CSV file. So we are tracking just the worst case. How we do it? So the analysis script has been done on the backend. On the left-hand side, you can see a big script running of nearly 700 lines to run the script. But what we do in the QA Track Plus is that import that local Python script within the QA Track Plus and make it to run with the folder within the folder. So you don't need to write a script within the QA Track Plus. It is just you import the script that are in your located in your server or located in your library, Python library. You just import it and run it through the QA Track Plus so that it can able to import it. And then you can store whatever results you want to do it. And this is the test, one of the missions, Winston Lutz QA, that we have trended along the way from last year to this year. Uh, and you can able to analyze what it is happening. Really, is the mechanical is wearing out as the mission ages? Is it dropping down? Is it changing due to some other things? You can able to analyze what it is happening. Next test that we use is picket fence test. This is one of the tests that has been created by one of the eminent physicists in our department, who, first of all, the picket fence test is performed for a single energy at different gantry angles to see the impact of the gravity test. So they did as a different measurements like distals and proximal MLCs for the uh, halcyons, because it is a dual layer MLCs. And for the true beams, we have done that in the one of the banks and A and B banks. First of all, they have delivered that from the A bank. You can see that minus 12 positions and you different minus 19, and you can see plus 12 and plus 19 for one of the jars, and then you can see different positions. And what the script is running behind the scenes is it generates the positions from the, it takes the profiles and uses the picket epid as a baseline, and then measures the center of the epid, and then creates profiles along the lines of the MLCs based on the model that we give, and determine the positions of the peaks. So it has determined on the bottom below, it has determined and gives the worst deviations on those things. This is done on the one of the banks, and next one is the other bank. You can see that the same thing that is happening with the other bank, and you can see the numbers that are we are getting deviations, which we are storing in the QA checklist. You can see that numbers that we are getting generating from the scripts. It is a combination of the scripts. You can use the scripts. There are a number of softwares nowadays which we were using it, and then we can use that one to import the numbers into the QA checklist and use that as a trends how we are doing it. Coming back to T2 MLC test, I will take T2, which is a common rapid arc or VMAT test that we do perform. You can have taken one of the energies from one of the missions that we performed recently. So this is basically a combination of these scripts. Pylinac or others and other free scripts are available, which we can utilize within the QA trackers. It is that I have not created the script, or we have not created the scripts from basically. It is freely available within the internet, and then we are just implementing those scripts into the QA Track Plus. All are open source models that you have to spend time to interconnect all those things and utilize it in within your department. And here I have taken the each T2 test, and it has created the ROIs in the images based on the readings, and it has plotted, given you the numbers, how much it is deviating at the each segments, and you can put your tolerances based on what you are expecting based on your baseline values. And you can use that and to compare the different missions. You can do it. This is a screenshot that I'm showing as T2 analysis for 6NV and 6FFF missions. Like you can see the differences. The top one of zero 0.5 is it of the 6 MV. The bottom one is 6 MV and top ones are 6 triple F. You can see that variations, and you can utilize the QA Track Plus for based on those measurements. And this is T3 analysis, where we will be doing the same kind of measurements based on the MLC speeds. I have shown an image of taking the ROIs. After this at the end of the presentation, I can show you a demo how we do that one in the end. So I'm showing this one with the number of errors, and you can utilize, you can perform those tests in this one. And this is again, we are comparing T3 analysis of two different machines and two different energies, why it is doing like that, why it is doing in this energy, why it is doing that energy. So basically it can able to do multiple queries. So it can able to compare different missions, different energies, and put a trend or particular trend. You can choose a different window level, particularly why it is happening for last 2 months or last 1 month. You can able to do that in QA Track Plus. So coming back to the image analysis, CAT-fan images that we are currently utilizing in the KVCB-CT imagings and in the CT as well. You can assign it for the CT, or you can assign it for the CBCTs, whatever we do. It is basically a file and act script that we have implemented. We have not claimed it that we have created from the scratch. It is just free source that we have implemented into the QA Track Plus. It is a combination of free sources. QA Track Plus is a free source, and then CBCT, one of the eminent physicists that our department has done that. It is putting that free source into the QA Track Plus and utilizing it for your purpose, serve the purposes. So images, you can see it has done the high contrast resolutions, uniformity, and then different HU values based on your requirements. So what we do, it has provided that in the Excel sheet. The QA Track Plus, what does it? It imports the values from the scripts and then put it into a trend values. And we have created a different test for the CBCT QA. 604 of model, different model CAT fans, and different HU values and slide thickness. And then you can use the uniformity, linearity, different tests, and then you can use it as a trends. So you can see this is a screenshot of a page that how you review the analysis. So you can choose whatever you want to analyze, whether you are comparing at different sites, or whether you are comparing at different missions, or within a mission, I need to compare the MPCs or QA3, and I need to compare which we can able to generate. This is a major advantage of the QA Track Plus, I would say. You can able to compare different missions, different locations, or within a mission, or within particular mission, different tests, why it is happening, and different time periods as well. And you can set your tolerances or the different levels. Before going into the roles and responsibilities, I will give you a short demo what it is happening. I hope you can see the screen. This is our site, our compliant node. This is our home site. You can see our major missions that has been commissioned in this one. You can see all the tests are run into the test missions and then executed and tested and implemented, assigned it to the different units. You can see different chambers that we have at the different sites and different machines that we have used it into that one. So well, this is a CAT-fan CBCT head test list. You can see a number of tests has been created within a test list. This can be assigned to the different machines as well. So what I need to do plainly here is to enter my folder type, and then it starts to perform the calculations as shown here. So it starts to perform whatever it does and then compares the numbers. And here is my references that is doing it, and it compares against the references. If the tolerance is not set, it is in the blue color, and the other one is the green where it can able to highlight. You can see some of the oranges. It's go into the actional level or tolerance levels, adjustable levels. You can set different tolerances levels. And coming back to that one, it provides the images here, and it can be able to save at the bottom. You can see that it has provided an image on that one, where it provides the how much the low contrast and spatial resolution has been done into the images. And coming back, this is what we have analyzed. I can show you a trend of how much it is showing here. This is one of the missions that we are currently using it, and you can see when it was performed, who performed it, and you can see generated into the chart, and it is being compared against the different levels. You can see now here, I want to choose any particular missions that is going on here,
बंदा
and
धीरे
then
बोल रहा है कुछ
comparing against it with the different values. I can choose what it is doing with the hair HU or adrenal HU. I can compare different numbers between the different missions. Let's see, I will show you current comparing different missions in the hair HU itself for examples. So this is for one of the missions. I will see the other mission as well. Do the same thing. Click that one, and then add a tube, and then if you generate the chart, you can see two different lines. So how it is performing between the two missions, what it is doing. It is basically utilizing the plot in the Python code GitHub. It uses that one and to generate the chart within the QA track plus and saves the data. So this is the one. I'll reload it. So I'm entering the scene. I'm just entering the date of when we performed it. And then it just analyzes, it searches for the folder and then giving analyzes for that one. And it is doing performance in the like things. Yeah, it has generated the numbers, and it is comparing the numbers between the previous measurements and our tolerances, and it saves in the folder. You can see that in the folder, it saves as a CSV format, which you can able to utilize that with the extension of how much we are getting at the each combination of the instantlets. And then it saves the images in the folder as well. You can see all the images that has been done into that one, and then it plots how much deviations into this one. Similarly, I'll show you what we have done. This is a sample of outputs. You can see the numbers that we have compared. It's compared against the chambers, what they have used, who has performed it, and what chamber they have used, and what have they used the correct chamber factors and correct temperature and correction factors, and you can compare against your output how it is performing. I can show you how it is performing on a trend. I can click this data, and then it will just compare the 6MV2 symmetry chamber data along the axis. So I need to compare this against the MPC data or QA3 data. I can able to generate it. Here I can compare against a different machine. Now I've chosen a different machine now. monthly, and then if you click the generate data, it plots against the different things. This is how we retrieve the data, compare the different machines, how it is performing, or the different numbers can be performed as easily as possible. There's the trending chart which I was showing you, and you can do it for different tests, whatever you want to. So you need to dig about what we need, what we are looking at, how we are going to analyze. If there is a problem, we can able to backtrack what was happened on that day and who has performed it, and it can be able to easily traced between these slices. And I can show you if you need anything more than that. Direct list. Okay. What what is our responsibilities? We have, as a performers and departments, we need to assign the user roles. Is everyone has the access? Everyone has a full rights? No. So it needs to be have a different roles within the QA track plus. You can able to assign engineers, you can assign the computational physicist, you can assign the QA physicist and the experts onto that one, so that they have a different roles and they have their own limitations within the QA track plus. And while setting up, we have to set the reference value management. Reference value is where it shows the traffic lights, where it needs to be taken action, or it needs to be shown, it needs to be uh, trade, it needs shows the trend, whatever it needs to be done, you have to check that reference value, because some of the machines as get it older, it is out of tolerances, it can drop, or is it really dropping it, or be it is going in the trend, or it is one day out. You need to check that one. And then you need to check the parts it can be done, and audit. For audit purposes, we are using it one, how much has been done. So monthly audit, how we are performing our QA, are we doing regularly, how far, is it someone missing, or is it not being done. You can able to securely audit whatever you do, and you can set the current tolerances, and it can be done on the multiple sites. So if you have multiple satellite centers, and as we have, it can be managed from the single web interface surfaces, and it can be utilized from different devices as well. Nowadays, it's you can enter the numbers in iPads or tabs that we can able to do it. And you can do it with a digital sign off. By logging in, you can able to assign who has performed the test and how they have done that. And challenges in this one, you can see initial setup time is significant. You can't ignore it while commissioning or installing. That is the major part that you do. It is a big step. You need to design, plan, and discuss the risk assessment between all the things, and you can able to do that one. That takes a lot of time. And every script that you use is to set up time that needs to be validated, tested, unit tested, and it needs to be tested a lot of times, and then before implementing into the QA track plus. Which needs for installing and commissioning, we need a technical expert from the computational team, where they can able to both test it whether it's problem. If it is a problem, then there might be an issue. If there are updates from the Python, it can't able to run, where we need a technical expert help, and it needs a lot of documentations as well. So it needs to training, lot of training and documentations to perform between the departments. And you need to take actions on the initial errors, because each one has a risk of errors in the initial setup, because we are all learning, and it is a new thing into the department, so it is prone to errors. And then once you are set up and confident, you can able to uh, be confident on numbers and the scripts that you are running. So you have to do a risk management, and then on the initial setup, once you are confident, and then go back into the numbers. And what are our key takeaways today? It is an open software, where it reminds us it can be able to utilized to its fullest. and it can be able to configurable at different sites as well. It can be done automations, like you don't need to do different softwares to run the analysis, or you need a different Excel sheets or backups of different places. It is a single web-based database. It can be utilized in your department so that you can able to work from different missions and different access, and built-in analytics that really helps. So comparing the different machines, different numbers, you can correlate different devices, why it is happening in that device, why it is not happening in the device. You can segregate your numbers and you can locate the problems where it is happening. So whether it is a device problem or is it a machine problem, where you can able to locate the errors, and then you can sort it out. That really helps in analytics, built-in analytics and trends, and this one. And according to the auditable, these are auditables and compatible, compliant with your local rules, because we have our AERB where they need a specific numbers or specific type of regulations. You can utilize based on, you can modify your QA track plus according to their requirements, so that it can be easily taken out of the QA track plus, and you can give a printout of, you can save it as a printout, or you can save as a paperless or PDF formats that you have performed it, and you can share it within the department. So it can be set up and compliant depending upon your regulatory bodies. And here I am. These are some of the informations according QA Track Plus, and I'm happy to take some more questions from here. Thank you.
Have any questions? Please unmute your mic and yeah, you can ask me. So there is a one question in our chat box.
Yeah, you can go. Is it? Yeah. Oh, there are loads and loads of questions. Sorry. This is the question from Car, Amanjot Kaur. This this you yourself developed in your house? How long it took to or for you to develop? It's not me. I'm really not a computational expert in installing these things. Thanks for asking the questions. It is a teamwork. It is not a single person's works, because it needs a different level of expertise uh, for setting up. But you can able to learn it, and you can able to install when you are locating out. You want to try, you can able to install within your laptop, and you can create a SQL database, and then you can do it. But in our department, since it is a massive department, so we have a technical expert teams of like computational scientists, where he's expert in creating a database within the servers, but and then he can able to help us in setting up the QA track plus, where another set of physicists will be running the test or scripts that can be implemented, and head of the QA will be overseeing those things, how it is happening, and then testing has been done, document has been created, a protocol. It is completely teamwork. It's not me myself. How long it take? We initially started with simple test. So installing around, it took nearly 4 to 6 months, because we have to do a lot of documentations and preparations and testings. First, initially we started with daily checks. That is the basic thing. So that took 4 months. And then from there, you can see the curve going up in a very high way. Once you get confidence in creating, and you know you have learned, then you can see you can develop loads and loads of things in no time. So in day-to-day output measurements, K polarity, K sat is not measured, but while monthly QA tuning, we need these things. Yeah, I do agree. Out of Python snip set in one test, we can get only one final output. We cannot store values in multiple variables. Is it so? Or we can, if as how? Yeah, first of all, I will go through the kpol and ksat which we need. Yes, we are still, I won't say we have completely implemented a kind of a gone with QA Track Plus. We still are using some of the Excel sheet where we need to analyze certain things that it can't be done. But for the regular use, we are trending the using the QA Track Plus like things, and exactly the key pole key polarity and keysat that which we need for output measurements or beam tuning. We are still included in the chamber factors that we are currently utilizing it, and it can be done separately. If you want, you can include it in your factors. It depends upon the local rules and local settings. Depending upon, you can use it. And out of Python snippet in one test, we can get only one final output. No, it's you can able to set different outputs what you want. Uh, like if you see the cat fan analysis, you can generate a number of tests, and you can able to extract the outputs, and you can use it for the different tests. So you can able to give different variables as well, you to run the script as well. That can be done. Where can I get ready-made test? Ready-made, there is no ready-made cooks. You have to work on your test list, and you have to, because it needs to be a departmental test or test list. It can't be made ready cook list because database is different. You can able to get that. And there is another question from Mariam. As you said that the software has an open source, you would like to please explain which files in GitHub we should use. All are in this. You can see there is a GitHub QA Track Plus. If you go to the community, or if you go to the QA Track Plus website, it will able to help you to guide where we need to go for the commissioning, how we install the database, and then how we can able to do that one. And there is a several documentations in the QA Track Plus documents, which we can able to, it will guide you through the GitHub as well. And next question is from Kenny. Do you mind showing a bit of more of that structure? What tests are connected to the chambers and LINAC? So I can also use the mic. Yeah, please use the mic, and I can able to get you more clearly, please. Kenny?
Yes, I'm here. So, is it possible to see what you use in the chambers and
Sorry, I can't able to hear
according
clearly. Can you be more
just a
louder?
second.
Hi, Kenny.
Is this better?
Yeah, better. A lot better.
Yes. Okay. So, we have been using QA Track Plus for a period of time, and I'm actually interested in how you use the structure in terms of the chambers and the Linux. So you elaborated a little bit on what tests are connected to the Linux, but what is connected to your chambers, and are your chambers interconnected to the Linux?
Okay. So it's not chamber interconnected to the Linux. We have a separate test like strontium leakage test that we are utilizing in this one. So we have a separate test list on the things, like we have a separate, and you can see what are the tests that we do with the chambers. Like I'm checking whether we are doing a strontium checks, and we use it in the output, which chamber has been used in the performing the output measurements. You can, where is it? One second. There are some outputs. You can see here which chamber they have utilized it. We want to check whether that has been performed the leakage and strontium checks when it has been performed, whether it has been calibrated, whether it has cross-calibrated numbers, so that it is quite track which chamber they used for which machines, so that it can be used. So I'm not using the same chamber that has been used last time. So we will be having a different combinations of chambers and electrometers that we use. So we pick a chamber that is not utilized recently. So we will pick a different chamber so that it can be mixed up, and then you can able to have a trend on that one. Is
All
that
right.
the
Thank
answer?
you. Yes, it covered a little bit. So in our department, we did it differently. Instead of defining a chamber as a unit, we just define it in a list. So
Okay.
we do the same test for this. So it's a multiple
Because-
choice list
Yeah,
uh,
yeah.
that includes this instead. So
Yeah.
that's perfectly fine. But
Thank you.
currently, I'm looking into like sort of creating a database for the chambers and then getting the numbers directly from there instead of having to punch in manually numbers from it. Do you
Yeah,
have something like this? When you punch in
yeah,
at a chamber, then you get the automatically the value
the
like the NDW.
that's right. Why we haven't utilized that? Because chambers needs to be tested, and it needs to be, we are doing a cross calibrations. So we kept it voluntarily to have a manual entry for this one. We thought about it, and then we kept it as a voluntary input. We have to check the recent cross calibration factors, and we need to enter that one into the Excel sheet, because it is a QA control protocol controlled. So we need to check our recent cross calibration factors and then cross check that one. And then we voluntarily kept it as to be a manually entered number. That is only the plain reason. We don't want to import directly from this one, because we don't want a risk of having a old factor to be implemented into the new Excel sheets.
That makes sense. Thanks.
Thank you.
It's awesome. And also like the thing is, it's free. It's nice. But if you have more money, that the rat formation actually took the QA track plus and then made it paid for.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you.
So
And, sir, there is one question from me. Sir, how do you pull those images? Like, say, for now, I'm using a Pylenac, like doing the analysis. We have to export it back
Okay.
manually and analyze it. Like, which process? Like, how it's like pulling those images? Which part of that?
Yeah, in the script
Like,
itself, it can save you in the test list itself. If you go into the admin site, administrator site, it will ask you whether you want to save the images or not. If your script is producing images and it is creating a PDF, like Pylenac is producing a PDF, or it is in a different format, you can put that into the QA track plus test list, where you can able to add that one. I need this image to be stored in the QA track plus, and then it saves that according to the test. So if I'm going a previous test, you can see I'm going to leave the site on different dates. So it still saves that test list, and then that image is on that particular day. This is performed on 2025, and then it saves that image according to that. While creating the test list, you can able to say, I need this image to the test.
so, which means you are saying that it automatically pull those images from the our console,
Mm,
or
oh,
like we have to
are you
export
talking about the importing of images from
importing
the
of
folders?
DICOM images, sir. For example,
Yeah,
for
that's
ticket
right.
prints, they're doing it
So
on
in Varian, each mission has a different folder where it can create a log files, or it can create a folders. So these plans are delivered in a file mode, where you can able to save that. It creates the images in a particular folder with the current date and time stamps. So when we enter, it searches for that mission, and then it goes for that folder, and then goes for that timestamp, and then we are importing into that one.
That means which is this is a full automation, not a semi-automation. It automatically imports it.
Yes,
Okay,
you can modify it to full automation as well.
okay. Thank you.
And Muthulingam is asking how extensively we can use this software in imaging. Yeah, we can use it in the imaging department as well. Currently, some of the UK centers are utilizing in the imaging department as well. So similarly, you can set up the different equipments for the imaging department, and you can utilize that test QA test. You can perform it, and then you can utilize that in the imaging department as well. So this is we have implemented in the radiotherapy. This is particularly for radiotherapy department, but people are utilizing for the imaging departments. I think I have seen a webinar based on how we are utilizing in the imaging department and nuclear medicine as well. So people are exploring uh, the efficiency of QA plus in different department. It can be done. Is there anything? Can I add something to add already great presentation? Yeah, please, Kenny, go for it.
Yeah, it's me again. So what I think it's worth mentioning is that connected to QA Track Bus is a Google group for the people who feel a little bit inconfident about this programming thing. So searching information there, it's actually possible in terms of a lot of these tests. So you can get a lot of help uh, in terms of making tests and how to structure them and stuff like this. So apart from this great presentation, then the Google
Thank you.
group is actually available.
Yeah, without those groups, we can't able to install or commission it this quickly, because those groups are really helpful in commissioning. And if you ask questions, they can able to respond. They will be responding as quick as possible. Or if you search for your questions, already there are number of questions you can get the answers from their groups. Thanks for Kenny for adding that information.
Thank you, Prabhakar sir. And
Thank you.
it's time to end the session. It's a really a wonderful presentation. It really helps. Um, Definitely, it will so we'll move from our conventional thought process to this one. So thank you then.
Thank
And
you,
we'll
thank
wind it
you,
in. There are more
Dinesh.
questions.
That's
We'll
a
wind up.
wonderful opportunity for me, and wonderful initiative to implement organizing this one to communicate different people into a single platform. That's a wonderful work. I really appreciate your efforts in this one.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, Dinesh.
Well, I'm closing the session. If there are any questions,